So in this slide, you can see that we are talking of proportion time spent per day on unpaid care and domestic work. So the findings, we found that on average, women spent 18.7% on unpaid care and domestic work. That's, if you translate it into hours, it is 4 hours, 30 minutes, while men spent only 54 minutes. That is even below 1 hour, which is translated into 3.6%. So women spent 3 hours, 36 minutes more on unpaid care and domestic work than men. So if you take 4 hours, 30 minutes, subtract 54, you'll find that is the difference. So it means women are doing a lot of unpaid care and domestic work than men. If you take now by rural and urban, that is by residence, we found out that on average women spent per day 18.6%, which is almost the same as a national average. That is 4 hours and 30 minutes, while men only 3.4%, which is 54 minutes. If you come to urban now, you'll find that women on average spend 18.9% of time on unpaid care and domestic work, while men only 4%. If you come to the proportion of time spent per day on unpaid care and domestic work by sex and age, you'll find that girls or women aged 15 to 19 years spent 15.2%, which is 3 hours, 36 minutes per day on unpaid care and domestic work, while boys or men aged 15 to 19 years spent 4.2% per day on unpaid care and domestic work. If you come to elderly people who are 65% plus, for women the percentage is 12%, or 2 hours 54 minutes was spent on unpaid care and domestic work. For men, it is 3.3%, that is for 48%. If now we come to the proportion of time spent per day on unpaid care and domestic work for working individuals, here we're talking of the ones who are working, we found that on average, women spend around 17.3%, which is translated to 4 hours to 12 minutes, while men spend around 48%, which is 3.3%. So working women spend per day 3 hours, 18 minutes more on unpaid care and domestic work than working men. So here you can see the proportion of time women spend per day on unpaid and care and domestic work by county. And you can see the lowest is Kilifi. The national average is 18.7, and the highest is 30.2. So the higher the percentage, the less the women are empowered. And the lower the percentage, the more the women are empowered. So you can see Marsabit had the highest and Kilifi had the lowest. So let's go now to the average time spent by the survey population on specific activities. So we have average time spent by day by broad level of activities, the ones we talked earlier. The first one, which is 65.4%, these are on other non-productive activities. So we spent around 65.4%, or 15 hours, 42 minutes on non-productive activities. For those who spend on a system of national accounts, productive is 19.1%, which translates to 4 hours and 36 minutes. For non-SNA productive, we spent around 12%, which translates to 2 hours and 54 minutes. Those who spend on learning is 48%. If you come again by sex, the average time spent per day on broad activities, you find that for productive, for non-productive, that one for female is 63.5%, which is 15 hours and 12 minutes. No, for women, sorry. And for male is 16 hours and 12 minutes. So men spend more hours on non-productive activities. Then we have those online. For women is 42 minutes, and for male is around 54 minutes, which is around 1 hour. And for, I can't see the keys very well, so for non-SNA production, women spend around 4 hours, 42 minutes, while men spend 1 hour. And for SNA productive, female or women spend around 14%, which is 5 hours, 15 minutes, and men spend 5 hours, 54 minutes. Somebody help me, it's not moving. On average, time spent per day on activities by major division and sex, I would just talk on self-care, maintenance, the ones which have been circled. For the self-care and maintenance, I'm discussing about it because it took a lot of time. So for self-care, when it comes to female, they spend around 705 minutes. While for male, they spend around 710 minutes. Now I will go to unpaid caregiving services for households and family. I'll talk about these indicators because you can see the sex differential is very high. So for unpaid care services for household and family members, for female, it was around 35 minutes. And for male, was around 5. For unpaid domestic services for household and family members, for female, it was 242 minutes, while for male it was 49 minutes. For the production of goods and for own personal use, female is 84, and as expected, male had 100 minutes, which is higher than the female. And for the employment and related activities, female had 117 minutes, while males had 252, and that one was also expected. So on the third indicator, that is the average time spent per day on specific activities by those who engage or participate in activities. As you can see, this is the first indicator is time spent per day by those who participate in the broad activities. And I will just go, you can see for the SNA on broad activity, for the survey population, which I earlier said for those who participated and those who did not participate, is 4.6 hours. But for those who participate in the activity, it has gone up to 6.2%. For the non-SNA productive survey population, it was 2.9, and this one went up to 4.2. For the learning, you can see it is 0.2 hours, while it is 6.3 for those who participated in the activities. Other non-productive, for the survey population, it was 15.5, but if you come now to those who participate in the activities, you'll find that it is the same. When it comes to time per day by those who participated on the broad activities by sex, you'll find that we found out that women, on average, women who spent their day participating on non-SNA productive is 5 hours, while women who spend on learning is 6 hours, and those on other non-productive is 15 hours and 12 minutes. If you come to SNA productive, that is for male, for those who participated on SNA, there were 7 hours, 24 minutes. Those who participated on an SNA productive is 2 hours, 18 minutes. Male who participated spent their day participating in learning, it was 6 hours and 30 minutes. And for the other non-productive is 16 hours and 12 minutes. So the last, or the fourth one, indicator is the proportion of persons in the survey population who participate in the specific activities. So on employment, we found that women who participated on employment and other activity were 33.4%, while men were 54.1%. So women were about 3 out of 10, and men were around 5 out of 10. For those who participation rate in unpaid domestic and caregiving services, we found that women who participated in unpaid and caregiving services were around 92.4%. That is about 9 out of 10 women. And men, there were 38%, which was about 4 out of 10%. For women who participate in unpaid care services for household and family members, there were around 30.5%, which is about 3 in 10 women, and for men there were around 5%, which is about 1 in 10. So for those who participated in self-care and maintenance for both male and women, it was 100%. So in summary, these are the key findings. The first one, the key findings in Kenya. The first one is that women, girls age 15 plus spent about 3 hours, 36 minutes per day more on unpaid care and care work compared to women or boys. Girls aged 15 to 19 years spent about 3 hours, 36 minutes per day on unpaid care and care work compared to men, boys of the same age who spent 1 hour. The elderly women aged 65 plus spent per day about 2 hours, 54 minutes on unpaid care and care work compared to the elderly men of the same age who spent per day about 48 minutes. Working women spend per day about 3 hours, 18 minutes more on unpaid care and domestic work compared to working men. Working women spend per day 3 hours, 18 minutes more on unpaid care and domestic work compared to working men. County analysis shows that Marsabit County recorded the highest proportion of time spent per day on unpaid domestic and care work by women, girls aged 15 plus. That is 30.2%, which is about 7 hours and 12 minutes per day, which is approximately 2.5 times than the national average, which is 12.2, which is also about 2 hours and 54 minutes. Other counties where women, girls aged 15 plus years spent a high proportion of time per day on unpaid care and domestic work are Wajir, Samburu, Mandera, and Garissa. And you'll find these are mainly ASAL counties. So what are the next steps? The Bureau intends to collaborate with partners to carry out the following activities. 1, dissemination of the survey results at the county and lower levels. 2, development of the policy, and this one is spearheaded by State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action. 3, undertaking further analysis on the time use survey. 4, valuation of unpaid work, that is development of the household satellite account to measure the contribution of unpaid domestic and care work to the country's GDP. Thank you very much. Before I step down, I would like also to recognize the officers who were involved, the technical officers who were involved in the implementation of the survey. So could you please stand, including the directors, please. Just stand, please. Bowen, you're not standing and you're the key person. We have Samoe. So these are the ones. Thank you very much.